Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to this particular stream, and I'd like to thank Illicit Deeds for putting this story out there because that's where I get the majority of this information from. So I wanted to shout my sister, my friend out for not only putting out so many of these stories, but just staying so consistent because it can be a bit depressing and it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. But I know our babies need us, which is why we continue to advocate for children first, okay? I want y'all to look at this baby right here. There is a couple, a Cody couple out of Cody, Wyoming. I don't know much about Wyoming, but apparently they have a Cody out there. A Cody couple is charged with murder in the connection to a child's death. On Monday, Park County prosecutors upgraded the child abuse charges against this individual. His name is Mosh Williams. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Moshe. Mashi. I don't know how you pronounce his name. He's an idiot. He's stupid. It don't matter how you pronounce his name. So, hold on. Sorry, hit the button. He's 30 years old, and his girlfriend, so dad's girlfriend, her name is Carolyn Anu, who is 28 years old. And they allege that the dad and the girlfriend inflicted a fatal injury to his daughter. They together inflicted an injury on his daughter. And I think, like I said, whoever is the custodial parent, the biological parent, should get more time in prison. Whatever time you give them that much more time in prison. Because I think that's probably the most egregious thing ever, is that when you are a parent and you allow somebody else to take advantage of, abuse, and misuse your legacy, your DNA, your child. Whatever time they get, if they give him life in prison, give him an extra life sentence for being a dumbass. The little girl's name, let me see if I can back that up just for a moment. This baby, her name, excuse me, I'm sorry. Her name is Paisleigh Williams. Paisleigh Williams passed away after months of abuse. I like that name. Paisleigh died on April the 4th, which was 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 days ago at Children's Hospital in Colorado. Charging documents filed Monday indicate that the child died as a result of blunt force trauma to her abdomen. The blow reportedly, oh my goodness. I'm going to warn you guys, these details are graphic, so if you have to leave, I understand. I'm giving you an opportunity to click off and leave before I read this. Yes, they are monsters. Brace yourselves. This child died as a result of blunt force trauma to her abdomen, and the blow reportedly separated her intestines in 2 places. In a post-mortem examination last week, pathologist Dr. Stephen Sena of the Adams County, Colorado Coroner's Office said this injury is classic child abuse, and gave an example of a significant gut punch. Cody Detective Sergeant Justin Weed wrote in an affidavit. Weed quotes doctors as saying the injury appeared to have been inflicted sometime between the night of March the 25th and the afternoon of March the 27th, when the father sought medical treatment for his daughter at Cody Regional Hospital. However, the officer's affidavit does not indicate how the injury occurred or who might have been responsible. In interviews with the Cody police, Anu and Williams, dad and girlfriend, reportedly cast suspicion on each other. So these two dumbasses are pointing the finger at each other, which I also think you should get extra time in prison for that alone. But they each denied ever abusing the child or knowing how she was injured, according to the documents. At a Monday hearing in Park County Circuit Court, Anu's defense, dad's girlfriend's defense attorney, attacked the case against her. At this point, based on the affidavit, with the sentence enhanced charge now, I think there's real problems with proof based on what we've seen as to my client's culpability on anything, let alone homicide, and that's according to attorney Travis Smith. And I want y'all to remember, that's what attorneys are supposed to do. They're going to throw that reasonable doubt out there. Smith made the comment in response to a request from Deputy Park County Attorney Jack Hatfield to have the couple held with no bond while the case is pending, which makes sense. State law allows judges to deny bail in first-degree murder cases if the proof is evident or the presumption great. Hatfield described that standing as being, as long as we make a sufficient showing that we can get through the trial, get through to trial, then they should not be eligible for bail. However, Circuit Court Judge Bruce Waters said it was more appropriate in this case to leave the girlfriend and Williams bond at $1 million cash each. So I think that's high enough that they should not be able to get out. They've been in jail and unable to post bail since being arrested on the morning of March 31st. Now, first-degree murder typically involves an allegation that the defendant killed someone purposefully with premeditated malice, which most of us, y'all been watching me long enough, we should all know that. That means it was premeditated. However, the charge can also apply if the death occurs while the defendant is committing another felony, including child abuse, which that should fall on both of them. Charging documents say doctors noted numerous injuries on Paisleigh's body. She had a fractured left clavicle in March, with past fractures to her neck and several ribs that appeared to have been broken months earlier. What did that baby do? What did she do? Dr. Cena told officers that rib fractures often occur from side pressure, like squeezing, and are common in child abuse cases. Meanwhile, Cena said the bruises on the top of the child's scalp appeared to have come from broad impact, according to charging documents, such as hitting a wall or the floor. I'll leave that to y'all imagination to think about what this baby went through. And I want to remind y'all, as much as we want to talk about these stories are too difficult to listen to, I want y'all to remember, how does that compare to what these children actually have to live through? What did baby Paisleigh actually have to live through? And baby Paisleigh in heaven right now is just asking for us to listen to her story, for us to put some respect on her name, so that the people who did this can get at least the proper justice on earth until they die, and then they can go to hell. Because I would really rather not see them in jail. I'd rather actually see them in hell for what they did to that baby. So beautiful, smiling, innocent little baby. Let's keep going. By the time Paisleigh, scroll back down. By the time Paisleigh was brought to Cody Regional In the early afternoon of March 27th, she was unresponsive. The child suffered a heart attack while being flown to Children's Hospital. She was returned to Cody and stabilized, but suffered serious brain damage. She was placed on a ventilator on April the 2nd, and a decision was made to focus on Paisleigh's comfort. Paisleigh died 2 days later. Dad and girlfriend reportedly told police they initially thought the toddler was suffering from some kind of stomach bug, as she couldn't keep anything down on March 26. Doctors indicated the actual cause was the injury to her abdomen and intestines, and I'm not going to give that detail anymore because it was really hard to say. Both of them reportedly gave police various explanations and theories about the different injuries that medical personnel and officers observed on the child. As an example, they said the 2-year-old had fallen off a stool and out of a low-lying toddler bed. I'm going to read that again. Hashtag, where's the biological mother? This really sucks for biological fathers today. Because damn, man, like, how can you allow this to happen? Why would you participate in this? For what? You clearly didn't love this little girl. Why would you even take custody of her? Why even have her in your possession? I bet any family member would have been glad to take this baby as opposed to letting these two idiots do what they did to her. Listen at this. They tried to say that this little girl had fallen off of a stool and out of a low-lying toddler bed, and suggested her other injuries could have come from other children inside the home. Ladies and gentlemen, is that even possible? For that little girl to have fallen out of a toddler bed. And they specifically said a low-lying toddler bed. And that could have caused broken ribs, injuries to her head, and separated her intestines. You can't be that level of dumb. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't be that level of stupid. The police, of course, rejected the couple's explanation for the injuries as implausible, and I agree. Dr. Sina said last week, based on the totality of all the injuries to the child and overall condition of that baby, he believes it was at the hands of an adult or adults. Dad and girlfriend each told police they did not cause her injuries. The dad said, "I don't beat my child," while the girlfriend offered, "I know for a fact that I didn't touch her." However, the dad, Williams, reportedly made a comment about the girlfriend trying to save herself, while the girlfriend suggested that dad was responsible, saying, "I don't know who else would have done it." Like I said, they're both pointing the finger at each other. I think they both need to go down in prison for life. I don't even really care who really was responsible for something about this just don't sit right. They're both pointing the finger at each other. Somebody did something, and that baby was in dad's care. I definitely think more onus should be put on the custodial parent or the parent that's the biological DNA parent that has the kid at that time. That has to definitely play into this. Lee Hellinger in the chat said, "I did many reenactments with toddler beds to prove that that wasn't the cause of death." Even if you just use a smidgen of common sense, you just know that it's not going to cause that type of damage. A bruise? Maybe. Not separated intestines, not broken ribs. While they're both being charged in a single joint case, it's possible that the couple will eventually ask to be tried separately. Judge Waters initially planned to schedule one preliminary hearing for both of them, but after a schedule conflict, Anu's, who was the girlfriend, her defense attorney, said he had no problem with the hearings being scheduled separately. I'm not trying to allude to anything, but quite honestly, I think if they're separate, I don't think any strong opposition. I don't have any strong opposition to doing it. So Williams is set for a preliminary hearing on Friday with the girlfriends, who's set on April the 22nd. So that's coming up. So let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage, and let me let you listen to the news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And I want to give a quick shout out to this news station. And just like we talked about with all of these police involved shootings that caused all of those black folks to be murdered, and we care about that so much, we want to go out and march and black power in the streets and all of that good stuff. Why can't we care about this too? Why can't we be protesting and upset about this too? We seem to care more about grown adults than we do children, and nobody is out there protesting for Paisleigh and her death. Nobody apparently is upset about this. But I want to give a shout out to the one news station out of about, I'd say maybe out of about 30 websites that I went to, I was only able to find one video on Paisleigh. Let's get it.
Well, a 2-year-old Cody, Wyoming girl fighting for her life after suffering injuries in an alleged child abuse case has passed away. According to the girl's mother, Paisleigh Williams died on Sunday in a Colorado hospital. The toddler was taken to the Cody Hospital by her father on Saturday, March 27th. She had bruises on her body and was unresponsive. Once flown to Children's Hospital Colorado in Denver, doctors found she had 2 complete separations of her bowel, a fractured rib, and vertebrae. Her father, 30-year-old Moshe Williams, and his girlfriend, Carolyn Ahn, are charged with felony aggravated child abuse. Both are being held on $1 million bond. Both suspects deny abusing the girl.
One news station talked about that. Isn't that sad? Out of all the news that's out there, I've seen more news on celebrities than we do on all of these babies being murdered. What I'm going to do is, I was able to find this on Facebook, so I hope the family doesn't mind me sharing this. But I wanted to kind of share a memory of this baby that they put together. And I had to change the music because the music was copywritten. So I put it to some non-copyright music. I want y'all to take a look at this. I'll give my closing thoughts about this. Dad acts like he didn't know. As a parent, especially me as a father, black father, a man, you make it your business to know what's going on with your children. They had this child in their custody. Somebody is responsible, and neither one of them are telling, and they're both pointing the finger at each other. To me, that should signify guilt right there by itself. And like I said, he's a bad representative of a dad, of a black man. This really continues to kind of set us back, because there's so many fathers out there who want to be a part of their children's life, and there are a lot of good men out there. There are a lot of good men out there. Ladies, can y'all say that in the chat? There are a lot of good men and good fathers out there. Maybe some of y'all know some that will love an opportunity and might have some difficulty dealing with their other side, with the parent. Sorry. There are a lot of men out there who are dealing with the other parent and are literally going through hell just to be able to see their kid, to spend time with them, to try to raise them. You know, they have to go through the courts and all of this type of stuff. And I just think, and I want to say this before we close out, that I really wish that us as biological mothers and fathers could just come together, and we shouldn't have to use the court systems. Because if the court systems weren't here, all we would have is each other. We only got one life to live. And I don't mean to be so cliche by saying that, but I really wish we would do what's best for our children, or otherwise, why bring them here? Why bring them here? Why have them in your custody? Why have them at your house if that's all you're going to do to them? We use these children for the benefits that we can collect off of these kids, hashtag babies for benefits. Then we don't even appreciate them when we have them here. We don't do what's best by them, what's best and conducive to their future. And if I think you're going to do that, then we have to start having the wherewithal to say, you know what? I need to be more responsible and just don't have sex. Don't procreate. Don't be a parent. Don't bring these babies into this world to just do them like that. I don't know if the mom was maybe trying to be a good mom and allow the dad to be in the kid's life while he has a girlfriend and all of that type of stuff. Say, you know what, maybe we didn't work, but I'll still let you be a father. It could have been just as simple as that. Giving him a chance to be a dad, and then he robbed the mother of an opportunity for her to be a mom. Dad and his girlfriend, and that really sucks. This little girl could have grown up and become something great, and now we will never know what she was going to grow up to be. And I think that we have to have that same energy that we do for politics, that we do for the black community, that we do for Black Lives Matter, that we do for all of this stuff. More than anything, I think children's lives matter, and I think children's lives should matter first. We have to start putting that as a priority, regardless of whether you listen to my channel or you know family or friends or anybody else. At least share that message. And we need to be there for our children, because they cannot speak for themselves, nor can they defend themselves against the tyranny of their caretakers. I want to close this out with my favorite picture. Two favorite pictures. I'm going to put up two favorite pictures of baby Paisleigh, because I think Paisleigh's life mattered. Her life mattered to us. Her life mattered to her mother. These are my two favorite pictures. Young Paisleigh, young princess, R.I.P. Sorry that this world failed you. But we know she's in a better place, and we will get justice. Not only will we get justice in this life on the dad and the girlfriend, but there's a special place in hell for them, for both of them, what they did to that baby. Okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to this story and so many stories with an open mind and an open heart. And from my heart to yours, I love all of you guys, and thank y'all so much for listening. We'll see you on the next stream, because we got so much more work to do. And I thank y'all for being on this journey with me, because this is not a me thing, it's a we thing. And I thank y'all so much for being so understanding. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a blessed night. We'll see y'all on the next story, okay? Peace.